All right. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for our Monday night team call. And we're just going to start out with wins, wows, and celebrations for the week. Carol, do you want to start?
Yeah, so my mom's been on Juice Plus for a couple of months now, and we were talking about it last weekend. And, I said, how do you feel? And she's like, I don't know if I notice a whole lot of a difference, but, I don't remember to take them every day. And I said, well, try taking them first thing in the morning with a glass of water, and then you're done, and you can do it. And she said, you can take them on an empty stomach? And I said, yeah, it's just food. It's just fruits and vegetables, and you just reconstitute it with some water, and you're good to go. So she did that the last 2 days, and she feels amazing. And she said yesterday she forgot to eat till like 4 in the evening because she was just full all day. All she did was drink water all day. And then today too, we went out to lunch at like 3, and she had forgotten to eat. So, so it's keeping her full, and she's loving it. And and she has more energy. We went and cleared out my grandma's closet today, just like reorganized it, and
awesome.
All this energy.
That's great. That's great. Well, Carol, great job of doing, even though sometimes it's our parents or friends that are super close to us, it's really important to still do that customer care of like, how are you getting it into your body every day and helping them to use it. So great job doing that. That's awesome. And that's a huge win when people start to feel better. That's why we do what we do, right?
Yeah. So, and I remember you had told me to take them in the morning too, because I was worried about, morning sickness, and it was fine. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Those prenatal vitamins I always had to take right before bed because otherwise they'd come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you take food, it works, and you don't have all that. So great job. Awesome. Super cool. Well, for those of you that just joined us, thanks for joining. And we're just kind of sharing wins and wows for the week or celebrations.
Okay, so I watched the Todd Falcone video.
Okay.
I don't know, sometime last week, and it got me on fire again to like just use his verbiage. And so I reached out to my Airbnb host in Norway, and he's super excited to learn about the mission, and hopefully we'll be setting up a 3-way call with you. He's looking at the Freedom Revolution right now. Just to get kind of his feet wet and see what questions he has. And then I was riding in an Uber the other day, and I was asking the Uber driver, like, how do you like driving for Uber? And he was like, oh, I don't like it at all. And so I just pulled a Todd Falcone and asked him, if he'd be open to earning extra income outside of driving Uber. And he said, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So I have that meeting tomorrow.
That's awesome. Well, if any of you are friends with Shannon on Facebook, she is a world traveler and is out exploring and climbing mountains and running marathons and all that kind of stuff. And this is such a great example of doing Juice Plus as you live your life and being a blessing in people's lives and asking if they, want some more information. That's awesome. Shannon, great job. We're so glad you're sharing your smiley face with us. You rock. Who else wants to share? Vicki, do you want to share anything? Oops, unmute.
Okay. I don't have anything that exciting other than I'm trying to build for, if anybody knows anybody here in the Richmond area, Dr. Benitez is going to be here on September the 15th. So for those of you that don't know, she is a breast cancer surgeon, and she's going to be giving, she's at a regional here. So I've been trying to build for that. I've reached out to a couple of people, and unfortunately their chemos are on the 14th, so it's not going to work. But I'm just, I'm super excited for Gary, who's one of our newest team members, because he is out there rocking it and working hard. And so it's kind of quiet on my front other than just trying to do what we're supposed to be doing. But I did have a chance to listen to Jenna's call last week. I wasn't on the call. I had something else I had to do. And so she got me all jazzed if she can do it with all those little kids and babies and commitments. And I'm just out here taking care of my old man. So I'm trying to follow her good example.
Well, that's awesome. And I loved from last week, Jenna's vision of like, we've all got our own chaos. So yeah. Whether it's kids and dogs and all that kind of stuff, or mental clutter in our head, whatever that is. So we all have the stuff, but if it's what we prioritize in our life that we make room for, right?
Yeah, I think that's so true.
So true. Well, awesome. Thanks for sharing, Vic.
I have a little something to share.
Great.
I just moved in to help take care of my dad, who is like 88, and he's diabetic, and I'm trying to learn how to cook and care for him and not hurt him, and not having any experience with it. I had a meeting today, about an hour-long discussion with a nutritionist and dietitian at the VA hospital here in town. And, I was explaining to her how I'm trying, to keep Dad on track. And I learned so much from her today about how to manage him. But I mentioned that I've got him now 2 months worth on the Trio chewables and the complete shakes. And she said she had heard of Juice Plus before, but didn't know too much about it. So I explained a little bit to her about the program and what it is and how it's helped him, helped me, helped my sister, and just sharing the success. And she said, well, she can think of like 6 of her clients right off the bat that could benefit from the whole food nutrition that comes from Juice Plus. And so she's asked me to supply her with more information. So I think that's a great inroad into getting into a client base there through the VA. And I'm curious whether anyone in the network has had a similar experience in dealing with the Veterans Administration. Maybe that could help with some insight on how I approach that further. Secondarily, I just put my tower garden together, and my first batch of seedlings will arrive sometime tomorrow or Wednesday. So I'm really excited about doing that, and have talked with 6 chefs at restaurants in town that are the farm to table type of places, and have introduced Tower Garden to them. I was really inspired by the post on Facebook about the chef in Arizona, in such a hot climate, is able to keep himself supplied with all that. So I shared that video with 2 of these chefs, and they want me to come back and talk to them more about getting Tower Gardens in their restaurant operations. So
awesome.
I'm really working on packing my pipe and waiting for it to start dribbling out the other end. But I'm really excited about my Tower Garden and getting that going, and looking forward to reaching out to some more chefs. And I've identified the head of the STEM program for Leon County Schools, and I'm going to be meeting with her sometime next week to talk about Tower Gardens in the classroom. So I'm real excited about the next 60 days for me. I think it's starting to really come together.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Great job, Gary. Way to go out there and share it as you're, doing your life. So taking care of your dad is your main priority, and you can do this right alongside and make an impact in people's lives in your own community. That's awesome.
Right. And I can stay in my kayak 2 or 3 days a week and not have to worry about it reporting somewhere.
Good. That sounds awesome. Great. Anybody else want to share? All right. Well, we'll get on to what we're going to talk about tonight. Our call this evening is about inspiring healthy living through gatherings and events. And I don't know about you, but when I first started Juice Plus and they said I should have a get together at my house, I thought that's like the scariest thing I've ever heard of. But what I had to get back to and remember was that I knew I wanted the people in my life to hear about Juice Plus. And the reason that we have gatherings and events is just an opportunity for people in your life that you love, that you know, that you care about, to learn about what we have to offer and see if it's going to be a good fit for them. Now, we're not going to twist somebody's arm or convince them to do something that they don't want to do. But if they do see what we have to offer, it's going to add value in their life, we're going to help them get it. Okay. So I just want to see like a raise of hands real quick. How many of you have done an event or been to a company event or of some sort? Hands up. Everybody, almost everybody. Dean, you're new. So have you been to an event yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's okay. We're excited for you. Yeah. How many of you have hosted an event of your own? Hosted an event of your own? Yeah. How many of you was that scary for the first time? I'm going with both hands. Super scary. So what I'm going to share with you today, you guys, we're just going to go over like the purpose of having an event and what is an event, what kinds of things am I talking about here, and then how and what they can do to really help us inspire healthy living around the world. Does that sound okay? Awesome. And I'm just going to share just a few things real quick, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And this is a small group tonight, so I hope we can have a conversation. And I'm being vulnerable here because I know in the beginning for me, and here's the thing, I'm still sometimes scared of having an event. I'm in a new community, and inviting people over to my house to hear about something it sometimes scares me. Okay. So I'm going to let you know that never goes away. And I always have to remember that if I'm scared and I'm kind of excited at the same time, because I get excited about events, I like hosting people. I love having people and gathering people, especially like-minded people around health. Like I love to do that, but oftentimes there's this little thing in my head that it's just a little bit scary. So that's when I know I'm in the sweet spot, that I'm doing something good. Right? Sometimes you're out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? So, so first off, let's talk about the purpose of, I already kind of talked to you about the purpose of an event, but also our purpose, there's a few things here. Number one is to inspire, bring people together, and move people towards a healthier way of life. That's what we're all about. Like that's what we do, okay? And there are opportunities to create community. So bring people together that are like-minded. They're also a way to provide education. So, and I'll talk to you a little bit more in depth about a kind of event that we do that adds value to our customers where it's just about education. The other piece of this is that this is a way to efficiently build our businesses. So we get to talk to more than one person at a time. Okay. And then one of the reasons that they work is because they, there's some social proof, anytime you gather 2 or 3 people together, right? There's like this idea that like, oh, it's not just me. It's not just Mel, right? When we meet one-on-one, it's like, okay, it's my word over yours. But when you have a group of people together that are all there for the same reason, checking out something that Mel says is super healthy for them, there's 2 or 3 people there, there's some social proof to what we're up to and what we're doing. Or if there's 2 people sharing their stories with 2 or 3 people, it allows for that social proof to happen. So also allows people to meet people within our company, and helps people kind of feel the heartbeat and the culture. And I love that events do that. So some of the kinds of events and gatherings that I'm talking about, number one is, an in-home event. And some people are like rock at those. Like I have gotten better at those over the years. And we might call it, I love the healthy happy hour. It's just my thing. Like I love bringing people over for a margarita. Like it's just easy and something I would do in my normal life. Right. Some people might just be like, hey guys, let's go to the bar and grab a couple beers. That might be how you see yourself gathering people. Doesn't have to be in your house. Doesn't have to be awkward. Doesn't have to be outside of something that you would normally do. Might be on your tailgate at the end of a trail run. You're going hiking and you're like, hey, let's go for a hike. And then afterwards, I'm going to share a smoothie with you guys and share about healthy living, things like that. So it could be at a yoga studio. You could have, you know, a yoga party. I have this awesome deck that right there. I see yoga mats out there, and I just met this girl who I adore. Her kids go to school with my kids, and we're going to do yoga on the patio after the kids go to school, and we're going to talk about health. We're going to partner together. So let's see. These events can happen in a coffee shop. They can happen, you know, anywhere you want them to happen. It's just a way of gathering people and to learn about our products and our opportunity and health in general. Okay. So some of these can also happen virtually. So we have personal gatherings that we do on a personal level, really face-to-face, one-on-one gathering, you know, in a room, in wherever we talked about those kinds of things. But then we have virtual gatherings. These are gatherings that same simple thing that we're talking about as one-on-one, person to person, but they happen over Zoom. They can also happen in a Facebook group or a Facebook event. So similar situation, but just virtually. Then we have larger gatherings. And I talk about these, like if you're talking about like Healthy Living Revolution local events, that's when teams of people are having these larger social gatherings where teams of Juice Plus representatives lock arms, kind of like us on a call here, if we decided to all do an event together and everybody invite 2 or 3 people, then we've got a big group of people, right? If everybody here invited 2 people, that's like 26 people in a room. That's a larger gathering, okay? And usually what happens is people, a variety of people will share their stories of what's happened since Juice, you know, they started Juice Plus or they became part of our Juice Plus opportunity. And it's usually a panel of people. So we've got personal, smaller gatherings. We've got virtual gatherings. And we have the larger gatherings where you're usually teaming up with a local group. I do like these, you guys, because here's the thing. You can add a variety of different stories by teaming up and partnering together with people in your area. And I love to do that. I'm actually doing that this week, this Thursday. I've partnered with the local group here, and we're all bringing like 2 or 3 guests to my house and having a luncheon. So we're working together because I was like, if I only have 2 or 3 people, is that going to be weird? Or maybe one of my people will only show up, you know, only one person will show up. So if we team together and we work together, then there's a bigger group and we have a few more stories and a few more people interested. So these can happen locally. They can also happen on Zoom. That's what you're seeing with our Healthy Living Revolution Zooms that are going on. We do those, right now they're happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening, and then Thursday afternoon. So that's what that is. That's a larger gathering, okay? So, and then there's like regional events. So these are events or trainings that happen locally in your region, okay? And usually a co-op in the area puts them on, and they're usually gathered for training, but like our event that's coming up, our regional event that we're doing in Denver on the 15th of September, that's actually going to be an opportunity for people to come and hear a variety of different stories, health transformation stories, as well as business opportunity transformation, financial transformation as well. So it's going to be a great place for people to come and learn, meet some people that have partnered with Juice Plus, hear their stories, and then have an opportunity to see if this is a good fit for them as well. So that could be considered a recruiting event. But I think it's like, hey, come meet some of our friends. See if you like the vibe. See if you like and enjoy and relate to the stories. And we'll see if it's a good fit for you to partner with us. So that is a regional training, a regional event that's happening. But we also have boot camps. So I know that Shannon has been to the Breckenridge boot camp with me, Jennifer Rankin. Those are local trainings that happen in our area. We do that one in the Denver area in the beginning of June every year. And then there's regional events happening all around where you can get training, you can meet local people, you can meet people in the regional area that are doing Juice Plus, share your stories, have an opportunity to learn from top leaders in your region about how to be successful with Juice Plus. So the other thing we also have is Healthy Living Revolution educational opportunities. These are purely education about healthy living, how to live a healthier life. I love these kinds of events that happen locally and also online. We do a Healthy Living Revolution event with a doctor or a healthcare professional and wellness professionals in some sort that just share education about how to live a healthier life. These are great opportunities for customers to come learn about how to live a little bit healthier, kind of go on their health journey one step further. Also, these are opportunities for people that have never heard about Juice Plus before and that just want to be part of our healthy living revolution. So there's a lot of, like I said, those happen locally, periodically, and then also, every Sunday we've got something going on healthylivingrevolution.com. Okay. And then the biggest piece that we have, our final event, is our Juice Plus Live Conference. Those happen in the spring and in the fall every year. And this is the A1 number one biggest opportunity for people to learn about our Juice Plus community, get the vibe, the heartbeat of the company, to hear from and learn from top leaders in our company. This is also an opportunity to hear from the rising national marketing directors in the company. They get to share their story and their journey. And for me, that has been, it's a really awesome opportunity. For me, it was, I was able to gain vision for myself and for our life, and then also change and grow through that. It's been an awesome opportunity to do that. Since I started with the company, almost 9 years ago, I started my Juice Plus business, and I've never missed a conference. Those are just a way to fill up. I've never missed a spring or a fall conference. And those are just ways to keep plugged into what's going on with the company, where they're going, what the heartbeat is, the people that you're attached to. And for me, it was really like, when I first started this, I loved the community of people that I got to surround myself with, the positive energy. And when you're sitting in a room with 8,000 people, like-minded, on a mission to change the trajectory of the world's health, it's pretty powerful. I have goosebumps on my face right now just saying that. But it's a magical moment that if you haven't been yet, you've got to go. Absolutely. And that's just an amazing opportunity. A couple others that aren't talked about very often that I want to tell you about, because the other kinds of events and gatherings that happen are really recognition and achievement events that the company just decides to spoil us. So there is, I just recently returned from Q School, and that was an awesome opportunity that the company put us up in Memphis and took us to the distribution center. We got to visit the home office, and they put us up at the Peabody Hotel with the ducks and all of that. And they just spoiled us rotten. They wined and dined us like crazy. And they just, we had an opportunity to meet for the 3 days in a row continuously with the business support program leaders in the company, and we just had a really great time, and that was awesome. And I know you guys know that Reagan, if you've been following her, she's in Whistler right now with the 100 Club recognition event. And you guys, I don't know if you know this, and Reagan doesn't toot her horn like this very often, but she is part of the top elite people in our company. I don't know if there's like maybe 30, 40 people that have hit that level in the company. And really what that means is that she's helped a whole lot of people transform their life, transform their health, transform their financial situation. And the company is spoiling them rotten right now in Whistler. And they're having amazing adventures. And if you haven't checked her out on Facebook, check out what's happening, because that's really awesome. So we also have the Elton Awards that happen in the fall. And when you hit 12 Club in our company, the company treats you to an amazing party at our fall conference, and that's really awesome and special. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that soon too. So anyway, those are types of events. But what I really want to just kind of ask you guys, what kind of questions do you guys have about hosting, attending events? Anybody have anything you want to ask? Yeah,
I've
Gary.
got something. How do you identify other potential partners in your area? Now, I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, and
sure.
How do I identify other people that are in the family, basically within 100 miles of me, that I can team up with?
That's a great way to put it. Who's in the family? Because we are the Juice Plus family for sure. So there are typically local groups on Facebook that we can add you to. There's also usually a Voxer group. So what I'm going to do is, Gary, so what you would do is ask your upline, how do I get, this is for everybody else, it's not Gary. How do I get connected
to other people,
to the local people?
Yeah, in the family, within 100 miles of me. I mean, I plan on being in Tampa, but Tampa is a 5-hour drive.
Exactly. So you're lucky you get to drive to our company conference. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. So yes, so we're going to hook you up on Facebook and on Voxer with the group that's going on in Tallahassee. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. So
that's what we'll do.
Terrific. Thank you.
Sound good? And anybody else, what you can also do, you guys, and this is what I've done in the past, is, I've moved lots of different places. And what I do is just go on Facebook and put in, Tallahassee or surrounding area, if there's a big city near you, what you can do is just plug in that and Juice Plus. And usually there'll be Facebook groups that you can kind of reach out to people and say, hey, what can somebody help me get plugged in this area?
Right. Okay.
What's happening, and I'd love to partner with some people who's into Tower Gardens, whatever your interest is, right?
Right.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll share.
And if you can't get anything there, then we can look for. I can talk with my business partner at the company, and they can tell me who's happening in your area.
Yeah, I would love to know them.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. I'll share the ups and downs of my summer. So the up was we invited some friends over, and like Mel, I just love having people over to my house, and for drinking, so much the better. And so I call it a wine and wellness. Come on over and we'll chat a little bit about health. And these are friends anyway, so they came over, and the wife saw our Tower Garden. She loved it, loved the idea, put an order in right there. I was pretty specific that we're going to be talking about Juice Plus. So there's no ambiguity, no guessing about it. Husband, got the Tower Garden from the wife, but he went on to Juice Plus. He has some health issues. She didn't like it so much because she's going through some other diets right now and didn't want to complicate things. So that was the up. The down was, had friends over for dinner. So my wife knew a couple from her job, and their parents came over. And it's like, great, good chance to talk about Juice Plus, but it wasn't focused. I didn't say Juice Plus up front. But then Dean said, tell me more about Juice Plus. What I should have done is said, here's this, and this, 1 or 2 sentences, but it's going to take 30 minutes and we should go offline, because I wasn't ready to give my presentation the way Mel showed me how to do it. And so instead it was this awkward time during dinner with parents listening in, and we love this, we love this, we love this, but it wasn't focused. And so I learned that lesson that, if you have to take a right turn and say, we can talk about it, when it's more fitting, what's new in your life, and tell me about your new house and stuff like that. So those are the ups and downs.
Richard, thanks for sharing, and thanks for being vulnerable that that didn't go so well. Because I think we've all had one of those moments where all of a sudden you feel like you're taking over the whole conversation. So sometimes you have to just kind of learn that verbiage to be able to kind of exit appropriately. But sometimes, Richard, and they might have just been asking you, they wanted more, they wanted more, they wanted more. So sometimes it's hard to get out of. So
can I offer up a response I've had in the same similar situation? You know, when it starts to turn uncomfortable, you know, I just say, look, all I'm doing is talking about bridging the gap between what they say you should eat and what you won't or can't eat yourself. And if you want to learn more about that, let's talk about it over, you know, after dinner drinks and get on with your life. But that's been successful for me in getting them to think about that. Hey, bridging the gap for man to man, Richard. Guys are more worried about not giving up or compromising. Well, I like this meat and potatoes, you know, but they're not getting what they know they should, and everybody's telling them they should. And here's a way, you know, you can do that and not even feel it. You know, it's like my dad is a prime example. I mean, I can't get him to eat much, but he's doing the chewables every day of the trio, man, and I've seen already a change in 2 months with him, just in terms of his mental acuity, you know, things like general health. He doesn't get much exercise, but he's more with me. So that's how I change it.
Those are great points, and I'm going to take that to heart. But I will add in that in that situation, it was my story, and Lisa, my wife, was a little shy about sharing her story. So Dean and I have to team up here in Fort Collins, so we have 2 stories at one event. And
have you been to the man cave yet? Have you been to the man cave yet? The Juice Plus. Oh, you need to check that out. It's great because it's all guys and in the business, and it's a different perspective. So check it out. It's the man cave.
I can share that with you guys. It's a Thursday night call that happens on every Thursday night. So it's just guys. It's good. It's really great. So I love seeing guys on here. This is so fun. Yes. So does anybody else have anything they wanted to share about events? Vicki, do you want to share? Hold on. Here, unmute yourself.
You know that I'm great with all the planning, get the flyer, do all of that admin type stuff. Then where I fall down is the follow through. So I've just joined 2 new groups, one in exercise, one in swim, and there are a couple of people in golf that I've kind of been laying a foundation through conversation general. But if I really, what do I need to do to just get over myself, whatever that book is, I've got it to read it, and just be brave and get out there and say, hey, look, do you want to, how do I approach these people to say, I'd love to share more information about what I'm doing. Would you be interested in coming over? And they're going to say, for what? Do I say a conversation about health and wellness? That's where I fall down. I don't have as Gary said, I don't have a fallback solid statement that I can rely on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know,
new people that I just don't know. I don't have any association with.
Yeah, I think getting into conversation and finding a need is very huge. But sometimes it's like, you know, hey, I'd love to invite you over we're having an evening of wine and wellness. And we're going to be talking about simple ways I'd love to get to know you better, have an opportunity to get to know you better. And, you know, it seems to me like you're a health-minded person. You look like you work out just the fact that you're meeting at a gym or something like that is the fact that they're health-minded, right?
Yeah.
Seems to me like you're health-minded. I thought you might be interested in a way to get more produce into your body. And worst case scenario, we get to know each other a little bit better, and I'm serving free wine. Come on over, meet my friends.
Casual as
you know what I mean? It can be super casual, and yeah, we're going to talk about Juice Plus, and we're going to talk, but you've got to go with that belief that you have no idea what might be happening in that person's life. And you may be a huge blessing by being brave, opening your mouth, and inviting them to come learn about something that could really improve their health. Who knows? Maybe they've got it under control, and they're going to be your biggest amener next time you're at the, at the gym.
I do know that when I am making a much greater effort, that I'm not tied to their decision anymore. And that's actually a relief.
Yeah.
And that once I can get either a positive or no, I'm not interested, I don't want to say negative response, it actually settles me, because then I'm not putting pressure on myself to continue to try to make something happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And just, our job is just to get the word out about Juice Plus. And that's what we do. Right. And so if we're not and sometimes, given an opportunity to let people hear about it, if we're not giving them opportunities, how are we going to spread the word? So, right.
Okay.
But always keep that belief of like, what we're doing is so good, and they may or may not want it. That's okay.
Yeah.
But we're just looking to sort the people. Like Reagan always says, you're just sorting, who wants to know right now. And maybe they don't want to know right now, but they might want to know later. That's okay.
Hey, on that subject of, they might want to know later, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Okay, so I have somebody that I've never met in person, right? I met him I had a call for something dental, okay? And it had to do with some software stuff. So we had a great conversation. So when I ended up kind of getting out of the box and just calling him back and just saying, hey, we had such a great conversation, so enjoyed that. And he was like, oh, me too, it was great. So I said, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but knowing that you were at one point going to go to nursing school and then you didn't, I don't know exactly what I said, but yes, he said, yeah, I'd love some information. So I sent him information and then nothing. And I followed up a couple times with him, some emails. I try I don't want to call him at work. And I haven't gotten anything. And so, it's fine. Obviously, I don't want to necessarily be chasing him, but I haven't also heard no. So I guess that's where my question kind of comes in there, is that, right? So are they just not ready now? Do you just completely drop it? Do you just kind of every once in a while, if something comes up that you think makes sense, you just send it to them until the point at which they say, do not contact me again? I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah, I think coming up with some way to have another contact, like, hey, I just thought about, I was thinking about you.
Okay. So you would keep going even though
yeah. And who knows? I mean, just kind of put them in a list of maybe this person will do something. But I think, the biggest thing, especially with people that you don't know, is really setting up that, hey, I know you're going to have questions. Let's go ahead and set up a time. I'll send it to you as long as we have something, on the calendar, so that I can make sure that you get all your questions answered. And then all you're doing is following through on what you said you were going to do.
Right. Okay.
And
so we'll just keep sending stuff every once in a while if it makes sense.
Some people just do that.
It's just weird because he called, when I called him and left him a message, said, hey, I have a question that's not related to work. He literally called me back within an hour or less. And then now nothing, so that's why I'm sort of on this. I know he hasn't said no, but I don't want to be annoying,
Right. I would let it go. I would find some other way to be in contact with him, just staying in contact. That's why I love Facebook, because it's you can reach out to people 6 months later and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Figure out a way to make their day, stay in contact, have some kind of congruent other than what we do with Juice Plus too.
Okay.
Create a relationship in some kind of way.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Even a health article that you're like, oh, I thought you would like this.
Sure. Yeah.
Nothing to do with Juice Plus, right?
Exactly. Yep. Right.
But that's what you have in common is health.
Sure. Got it.
Right?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for participating. Is there any other burning questions? I know we went over, and I want to make sure I'm, respectful of your time. And any other burning desire questions? Got to get off your chest.
Got a quick question for you.
Sure.
I've searched on Juice for events in the area. I don't know if people advertise their home events that way. I'm trying to find out because I'd like to go witness one in person, see how they're put together, how they run them.
Sure.
Before I do one. So I didn't know if there was another. Hey, Richard, when you having one? You're a neighbor.
I gotta book one. I want to come out of my summer doldrums and start rocketing.
Yeah, I'd like to witness one, or if I can help invite people. I don't know if we can throw something together.
Richard, I know we had talked about when I'm coming in town on the September 12th, 13th, 14th. I'd be happy to do an event with you all, and you can come witness one. Dean?
Okay, the 12th, 6 o'clock, my house.
Okay. Let's do it.
Which day?
September 12th.
Okay.
Okay, it's on the books. There you go, Dean. We've got you your first event.
What day was that?
I'll text you.
September 12th, 6 p.m.
Mel's going to share your phone number.
And also, Dean, I can put you into a Voxer group that they share local events in for Northern Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, I drug my feet on getting on that. I need to do
Getting on Voxer?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get you up to speed.
Well, hold me accountable.
Yes. All right. Well, great questions, you guys. I hope this evening was valuable for you all, and we'll talk to you all soon. And Dean and Jan, we're going to if you guys just want to stay on this number, we can chat as we were going to, instead of jumping on the other one. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Mel. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.